26 most unbelievable tombstones. 26. Blast from the past. I love a little story behind the tombstones, and this one is quite interesting. The man has his back facing the woman, and it turns out they were married for a really long time. The man died first, and the wife then requested that when she died, her back was facing him because it would truly represent their marriage. They didn't talk for 30 years. How do you survive like that? 25. End of the line. A more modern take on tombstone messages. Jesus called and Kim answered. I think it's brilliant. I wonder if this was her request or if her family came up with the idea after she answered Jesus' call. 24. Gone too soon. This unusual grave has a sad story attached to it. This little girl died when she was just 10 years old in 1871. She was apparently terrified of storms. Her mom had an entrance made to the coffin so that she could comfort her daughter during storms. 23. Eternity is a long time, so may as well have something to do while you're there. This guy must have loved his Scrabble for his family to create his tombstone modeled on the popular letter game. 22. Time's up. Luckily, this time you won't get fined for being late though. There are a number of these expired headstones in graveyards around the world. 21. Two heads are better than one. It looks morbid, but it's actually quite sweet. Fernand Arbelot was an actor and musician. He was also very much in love with his wife. This is her face he is holding, which he wanted to gaze at for all eternity. 20. No longer user-friendly. This chap must have loved his computer. What a shame he wasn't around long enough to see what incredible developments have taken place. 19. The non-believer. It looks like his family had a bit of an issue with him being an atheist, and even though he received his burial, his eternal message was to remind others that atheists, well, apparently they don't even go to hell. 18. Sleeping Beauty. This sculpture is called Asleep, which lies on the grave of Lawrence Mattison from Australia. His wife requested the statue be made as a symbol of her undying love for her husband. Lawrence was a big fan of the artwork of Peter Schipperhein, who sculpted this beautiful woman. 17. Always has the last say. This cute saying has actually been used numerous times since the 19th century. It's been named the most loved epitaph in the UK, beating Oscar Wilde's Either the Curtains Go or I Do. 16. Last wishes denied. Bit of a sad story. Sergeant Kimberly Walker served her country in Iraq and on her return was sadly murdered, apparently by her boyfriend. Her family knew her well and decided the best tombstone for her would be of SpongeBob. After getting it made and putting it in place in memory of her, the cemetery has deemed it inappropriate and removed it. It must have been very heartbreaking for the family to have to deal with that too. 15. You'll die laughing. This is brilliant. How often do you get those dreaded emails and text messages with a dire warning of death should you not pass it on to 10 people? Well, if you were ever wondering if it was true, here's your answer. 14. Strange sense of humor. I wouldn't be able to visit this gravesite with a straight face, and maybe that was the person's intention. Instead of mourning when visiting the site, you are left grinning and remembering his very strange sense of humor. 13. A tearjerker. It's done the rounds online, but it's still a beautiful one to see. Matthew was born in 1988, and he was severely disabled and bound to a wheelchair. When he passed away 10 years later, his parents made this touching tombstone, which must be a beautiful reminder that their boy, and in fact any disabled person, is no longer a prisoner in their own body, but rather free to run, jump, and play. 12. A grave addiction. It's been said that some people are so attached to their phones, they are being buried with them. A mason in Russia is offering customers gravestones shaped like iPhones. He said it started as a joke for a trade fair, but people loved it and wanted to order them for loved ones. They can even have a selfie engraved on the front. They're called iTombstones, and I imagine they must cost a fortune. 11. Back from the dead. These graves were used during the Victorian era as a preventative measure to ensure that no dead people rose from their graves, or perhaps they were terrified of vampires and zombies. Who knows? They are just so eerie. 10. Wash your worries away. Well, I guess this woman has no more worries at all, but I would love to know the story behind this tombstone. Perhaps she was a washerwoman, but it is very bizarre indeed. 9. A fan till death. This was Steve Marsh's favorite car, a BMW M3 convertible. When he died at the age of 51, his family wanted to do something really memorable. The car weighed 1 ton and had to be lowered using a crane and 20 people. Some people are totally against it, saying it will open the floodgates for tacky and inappropriate designs. I love it. 8. Till death do us part. You must have really been attached to your mobile phone for your relatives to have your tombstone shaped like this. Not sure if this is how I would like to be remembered by one day. Kind of sad, isn't it? 7. Never a truer word. Matlovich received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star while serving on the US Air Force. When he admitted to loving his commanding officer, he was discharged. He sued them and was reinstated in 1980. He dropped the case and received a $160,000 settlement. He died in 1998, and he wanted his tombstone to be a monument for all gay veterans. 6. Going out with a bang. At least this person managed to finally say what they were truly feeling inside, even if it was after death. Surprisingly, there are a few of these middle finger tombstones around. 5. Cup of tea. Perhaps he thought it would be a great place for the family to meet up and enjoy each other's company, so he requested this living room tombstone for when he passed away. Pack a picnic next time you visit this deceased relative. 4. A book lover till the end. This is my kind of tombstone. This stack of books is beautiful, and at least he or she has something to read on their journey to the afterlife. 3. Death came too early for this young girl named Lorraine, but her parents definitely let her go in style with this unique purple tombstone and grave. These have been developed by a company in France and are becoming very popular for alternatives to the usual customary tombstones. 2. Time to tell them the truth. If you need to tell your kids the truth about Santa, well, here's one way to do it. Just show them this image of his tombstone. They will never hassle you for overpriced Christmas toys again. 1. And now you know. No more trying to spot him in an overcrowded picture. Rest in peace, Waldo. What would be the most epic tombstone to describe your life? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for more extraordinary videos just like this. Thanks for watching.